What is up, fam? It's your girl, Biola Akani, here with a new YouTube video. Welcome back, fam. We are going to be doing a yin yoga practice today to get into them hips. We're going to focus on getting into the hip flexors, the inner and outer hips, and also getting into the glutes. For props today, you might want to grab a strap. If you do not have a strap, you can always use a tie or a jump rope. Yin yoga is a little bit different from restorative yoga in that they're both very slow practices, but they're different in that yin yoga focuses on stretching the connective tissue really deeply, and restorative yoga utilizes more slow meditative postures. So we're going to be going pretty deep with this yin yoga flow. I would say it's probably at maybe an intermediate level. You're going to really focus on getting really deep into the connective tissue, but I always say, y'all, once you start to cross your own boundaries, you know you're venturing into performative yoga territory. So just back it up. Keep it non-performative. If something feels unsafe, you can just always come out of it. We're going to be lying down on our backs to start, and we'll make our way onto our hands and knees, but those are the two range of motions that we'll be coming to. No standing postures whatsoever, no down dog whatsoever. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll meet you right back here on the mat in a hot second. Ooh, all right, fam, let's go ahead and get started. You'll notice that I'm in super comfortable attire, y'all. I got my cozy socks on, I got my cozy crew neck on, because we're not gonna be doing anything too strenuous. I want you to really focus on making sure you're comfortable throughout this entire practice. So we're gonna start lying down on our backs in this variation of Shavasana, and we'll just start by hugging the knees in. And I just actually want you to hold here for a few rounds of breath. You can clasp the front of the knees or behind the knees, find which variation feels yummy to you. And we're just gonna rock left and right, left and right, left and right on our low backs. Start to exercise an intentional breath here. I really don't want you to focus so much on a deep breath, but rather starting to breathe on purpose, with purpose. So noticing the texture, the pace, and the consistency of your breath, fam. Maybe taking a moment to start to lengthen the inhalation through the nose. Hold the breath there. Exhale out of the mouth, HA. Let's find two more of those. Deep inhale in through the nose, fam. Exhale out of the mouth, HA. One more time, y'all. Deep inhale through the nose. Oops, I said deep, y'all. My bad. Exhale out of the mouth, HA. Feel the whole body start to deflate into the mat, especially as you exhale. And I want you to continue with that intentional inhale through the nose, but you're going to exhale out of the nostrils as well, as opposed to out of the mouth. Yin yoga utilizes really intentional pranayama to soften through the muscles and the joints, and really encourage us to explore depth in each posture we do. So we're going to spend a lot of time focusing on our breath here. Also, if you are kind of experiencing anxiety right now. That breath, y'all, is everything. I have been experiencing the craziest anxiety since the panini or the pandemic. The pandemic, I don't like to call it. I just call it a panini. And I have to really intentionally come to my breath in order to just bring my heart rate down. So if that's you, I encourage you to find and explore that deep, full inhalation and intentional exhale. All right, let's start with one leg. Extend the left leg long, hug the right leg in right here. Hug it into the chest, hold. Collapse that left leg down all of the way. Feel the extension on the front of the groin. Draw your awareness to the groin as if you could put your mind there. Or wherever you're feeling sensation, that's where I want your mind to go. Not your thoughts, just your awareness. Inhale, let's bend the left knee. Invite the right foot onto our left knee. We're gonna thread the needle. Option to clasp behind the left thigh. This is option one. We're gonna be here for a few rounds of breath, y'all, so choose whatever option feels safe. Option two, you can clasp the front of the knee. For me, my right hip, she is definitely talking right now, so I'm gonna start with clasping behind my left thigh. We're gonna be here for a few breaths, a few minutes. I want you to hold. And as the body creates space, when you breathe intentionally here and the body draws more into the space you're creating in the muscle, maybe you invite that shin a little bit closer to the chest. Relax the mouth and the jaw, soften into that hip, soften into the yumminess of that muscle. I feel our opening, so I'm gonna move to option two, clasp the front of my knee. That's going to deepen this variation for me. If you're straining through the neck and your head and neck are lifting off of the earth because the hips are tight or the glute is tight, go ahead and take a rolled up towel or pillow underneath the head, y'all. We have a few rounds of breath here. A few more. Slowly root that left foot into the earth and right foot lengthens, hug the left leg in. Hold here, keep that right leg extended, y'all. Deep grounding breaths. And then let's switch sides. We're gonna bend the right knee, invite the left foot onto the right knee and clasp behind the right thigh or the front of the right knee. Choose your own adventure here. Oof. So my left hip is even more expressive than the right. So I can really feel that. Oof. I'm gonna sink into my breath a little bit more. I'm gonna relax my mouth and my jaw to surrender to the pose in the areas of my body that might start to resist it. But I'm not gonna push beyond my own boundaries. I'm gonna make sure that I'm keeping this practice non-performative. I know I don't have anything to prove to anybody here. I'm doing this for myself. Once again, if you are tight here and your head and neck are lifting, you don't need to strain and fight gravity. Just stick a pillow underneath your head or a rolled up blanket. Few more breaths here, y'all. Woo. Drink that breath in when the sensation grows. Exhale, release. Right foot comes to the earth, left leg comes long. Let's extend both legs. Wriggle, 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 wriggle. Wiggle, 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 wiggle it out. Wiggle it out. Hug both knees in again. And this time, let's find our version of happy baby, maybe clasping behind the knees, opening the hips wide, grabbing the ankles or the insides or outsides of the feet. We're holding here. And we're holding, y'all. And we are holding. Inhale here, extend the legs up and slowly relax the feet and the hands down. Keep the knees bent, cross the right leg over the left and float your left and right leg over to the left. Hold here for a breath. Coming into a supine variation, we're gonna start with the right hand extended out, left hand coming on the outside of this right leg. Holding here for a breath. allowing that sensation to slowly expand throughout the outer hip. And the low back. Option one is to stay here, or you're going to bend your left foot and grab a hold of it here for a deeper stretch. Right hand stays on the outside of the right knee, and you're gonna feel this on the front of your left thigh. So getting into the quads a little bit more, the front of the thighs. And slowly release. Come back onto our backs with the knees bent. Hold here and just let the spine neutralize for a moment. Do that by a deep exhalation and push the breath down towards the low belly. And then inhale from the low belly as well, as if you're breathing into your low back. Nice. Let's switch sides. Cross the left leg over the right. Float everything over to the right. Starting with the supine. Right hand comes on the outside of the left knee. Left hand comes out to the left. And we're just hanging out here for a few rounds of breath. Let the body soften and surrender into the shape. Option to stay here. Option two, maybe you take the left hand and grab your right foot. Left hand stays where it is. Remember, if it starts to feel safe, y'all, we come out. A few more breaths on this side. Good. Slowly come out. Release your foot if you have it. And roll onto your back. Again, let's hug everything in and just neutralize here. Just rock left and right. Neutralizing the vertebra. All right, from there, we're gonna go ahead and root the feet, keep the knees bent. We're gonna come back into an outer hip or outer glute opening posture. You're gonna cross the right leg over the left, and you're gonna take your left hand and grab the front of your left foot. Your right hand is going to grab the front of your right foot. And it's almost like you're coming into a seated position where both knees are stacked onto each other, a variation of Gomukasana, but you're on your back. Now, if you have trouble reaching your foot, this is where you would bind a strap or a sock around one foot and hold it with one hand, and then do the same on the other and grab it with the other hand. We're gonna hold here, kind of pulling the feet the opposite way and just beginning to feel that stretch on the outside of the right glute and hip. Now, the more I invite my knees to my chest, the deeper the stretch intensifies. So just keep that in mind. The more you invite your knees to your chest, the deeper the stretch is going to be in that outer glute. We're here for a few minutes, y'all. Relax the mouth and the jaw. Just gonna take the time, y'all. Still good on time. A few more breaths on this side. Slowly release the hands, uncross the right leg, and switch sides. So cross the left leg over, right hand grabs a hold of the front of the right foot, left hand grabs a hold of the front of the opposite foot. And you want to basically just draw your knees so they're kind of stacked. And holding here. I always feel it more on my left hip. Whew. Play with maybe drawing the legs forward or drawing the knees to the chest. It just changes the variation of the stretch. If this bothers your ankles at all, you can move your hands from your feet to actually grabbing the ankles instead. Oof. I feel that, y'all. A few more rounds of breath on this side. And release. Release the hands. Oh, I felt that. My left, y'all. She be talking. Let's hug the knees in. Once again, rock. Left and right. Neutralize the spine. Neutralize, neutralize. And we're just gonna keep rocking till we rock and roll all the way to the left or the right into a fetal position, and we'll make our way up into a seated position. Once you get there, the bottoms of the feet are gonna come together actually, and the knees are gonna come out to left and right. You're gonna interlace the hands along the pinky edge side of the feet, and the thumbs are gonna wrap in around the big toes. Push the heart and belly forward. And then exhale, bow forward. Chin comes towards the chest, and here we want to focus on trying to get those knees out to the left and right so we can get into the inner thighs and hips more. Relax the head and neck completely down, no holding. Also just gently releasing the low back simultaneously here. Try not to slouch too much, so there's a tendency to want to completely collapse the shoulders. Instead, I'd like you to invite your belly button up and in towards your spine, towards your low back, and feel yourself draw your heart forward as you slightly bend the elbows, and then continue to drop the head. Remember, you want to try to keep those knees pressing down if you can, and invite the heels towards the glute. So this is a really active posture. Slowly come out, and for the next pose, I'm going to actually turn my body to the right so you can see me. But I want you to root your hands behind you and root them flat into the earth. And we're going to come into this version of a Sukhasana. So I'm just going to draw my right shin right in front of my left. I'm not drawing it on top of the shin, I'm drawing it in front of the shin. My knees are going to kind of splat out to the left and the right, and at the same time I'm going to push my hands into the earth and draw my hips up to the heavens as if there's a string attached to my groin, and it's drawing my hips up to the heavens. My eye gaze is going up, my heart is coming up, but I really want you to focus on drawing the hips up so we can really lengthen through the front of the hips, the psoas. We're holding here for a few rounds of breath, y'all. Don't stop breathing. On the exhale, see if you can draw the groin forward once more. Exhale, lower the hips and draw the head forward. My locks are getting stuck on my plant. We're going to switch sides. Let's draw our left shin in front of the right. Root those hands behind you. They're going to act as anchors. Push them into the earth. Hips rise, knees go splat. Lift the head and heart up. Hips come forward. Deep inhale. Exhale. See if you can draw those hips forward. Once more. Deep inhale. Exhale. Draw the hips forward. Hold. And release. Drop the hips. Chin to the chest, y'all. And then from there, we're just gonna float into a tabletop pose. Hands and knees for our final posture. Child's pose. Open up the hips. Open up the knees nice and wide. Extend the arms so that the belly and the chest fall through, and invite your third eye to the mat. You might place a block or rolled up towel underneath the forehead if you're looking for additional support here. Final posture, y'all. So really just culminating everything we just did here. Drawing it all together. On the next inhalation, friends, let's slowly make our way back up to tabletop. And in tabletop, I invite you to just find a little bit of movement here so you can kind of wag the tail of the hips. Just kind of neutralize everything. Find a little bit of movement that feels good for you. And then come to a seated position of your choice. I invite you to find whatever hand mudra feels intuitive to you and showcases gratitude for our yummy yin flow today. Traditionally, palms are drawn together at heart center, a little space in between the palms, thumbs pressing into the heart. Let's take a deep inhale in through the nostrils. Exhale out of the mouth, HA. We each repeat one time. I've done my best. I leave the rest. Namaste, fam.